Alrighty. Okay, good. Volume's there. I've had to restart my computer a few times in between things. I just wanted to make sure volume was good. And it is. Yeah, we're back. And... yeah. Hold on, I'm just trying to, like, manage everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you
Hello.
said, yeah, this isn't worth it. None of it was worth it. He was like,
Hello.
wow, you're right. I'm just gonna lie down.
Hello.
Talking about home games. We're back. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have bread.
bread.
Because bread is good.
Bread is indeed good. Are we ready to jump in? Alright.
Gonna be a while before I go in combat, because I'm at the bottom of initiative. Oh, sure.
Last time, the party continued to travel to try and reach the Rusted Fangs territory, interacted with Thraxena, his great-granddaughter, a young life dragon, and spent the evening with her. And then upon reaching the city, found it besieged by this thing, a spider dragon. And now we come back in combat with Edie at the top of initiative.
Okay. This thing is still up.
For now.
With that, Edie will, looking at this monstrosity.
That is indeed its creature type.
I'm calling you out for it. He is going to take another 30 feet away. Oop. And then, as she continues to move back, her shadow will extend until it goes, connects with this spider dragon's shadow. And will just... And then she's gonna reach down to the ground, touching the shadow with her hand. Alright. Still up then? Let's see you deal with this. As she will cast Cloud of Daggers. Right on top of it.
Hell
Alright.
yeah.
And when does Cloud of Daggers damage proc again?
Cloud of Daggers, it procs the... takes the damage if it enters the cube or ends its turn there, or if the cube moves into its space.
Yeah, that is counted as a
And-
cube moving in if you're spawning
Yeah.
the cube on top. So,
Yep, so-
13.
Yeah, as just these large, just these large shadowy spikes just erupt from the ground into it.
Alright. Do you do a bonus action?
Let me see if I still have any, okay, I still have some sorcery points then. So yeah, if this thing is still up, just, use 2 more, and let us throw a Mind Sliver at it.
Alright, and that is int save for Mind Sliver?
Yep. Oh, max damage, okay.
Ooh.
Hell yes.
12 psychic as she'll just almost like a dagger, just flick a shadowy, the shadowy spike right into its head.
Oh no. It doesn't matter. It's keep highest one, not keep lowest one. It says advantage. Doesn't matter either way.
All right. With that, then, it is going to subtract a d4 from its next saving throw, as well as using my Fell Shadow Shard. It will have disadvantage on its next Wisdom save.
Alright, so that means it's rolling it straight, minus d4. Spider
Alright.
Dragon's turn. Seeing if it recharges the breath. Oh, it does.
Oh, fun.
I think this thing's thrashing about. I'm gonna roll an intelligence check for it. Just to see if it's going to, just to see what it's gonna do. 8. Okay. What this thing's gonna do is, how big's the cone again? 30-foot cone. How far away is Eni? 45 feet, and it can move 25, or it moves.
It's still
what's
slowed.
fluent? Yeah, 25 from slow. 5. Jared gives attack of opportunity.
All right.
10. 15, 20,
Does it?
25.
I can't remember.
And
Did
Ember
it
gets attack of
have?
opportunity.
Nice. I cannot
Okay.
remember. Did it have what's it called? Booming blade effect on it from a previous round? It's been a week. I can't remember.
Does
'Cause
the
I know-
25 hit?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm gonna err on the side of caution and say no.
Which
Yeah,
is
'cause
fair.
that-
Which
I
is
do
fair.
remember. I'm pretty sure I remember you casting Booming Blade. I don't remember if it was like this past round though.
Yeah, I know I cast it at least once. I
Yeah,
just don't
you-
remember if
you
it
at
was
least
this
did the-
most
you
recent
did the
time or a
first
previous round. Yeah, yeah. All right.
19 slashing damage, by the way.
19.
Nice.
That is actually enough to take it out.
Oh, nice.
Would everyone be okay with it using its last action for a Death Throws Breath attack?
Yes.
Just
I
because
think since
otherwise
it's
it's like,
go
I'm
for
getting
it.
that, just because it's like, I'm getting that dang sorcerer, oh no!
Yeah.
So this is
I
gonna
don't think
be,
a 17 would have hit anyway.
yeah.
Honestly, I could use his butt throws to attack Ember just because I want to see how much damage it'll do.
17 would have hit because slow lowers the AC.
Ah. All right. It doesn't matter, so I'll just.
Well, let's see how
roll
much
it
damage,
anyway.
because this could determine things for how it handles the death throws.
Yeah. So
17,
four.
four,
It would be 14 slashing. From
Then-
2 to 6 plus 5, and then
The-
it should also be adding Great Weapon Master. So that's
the 14,
14,
is enough
17.
to take it out,
and then 2d6.
and
6.
he's
Nice.
definitely out of the breath range, so it is going to breath over here. I'm gonna roll
Okay.
Hit me.
a
I thought we rolled that one guy left.
this guy.
What'd you do?
Yeah, let's say
Yeah,
he left,
but-
so he's fine. But I'm gonna roll a d3 just to see if this gets de-owned or not. Given that, oh nope, wrong thing. Given the way the cone could work, it basically has Magdalene. It has a 2 out of 3 chance of hitting Magdalene. So, we're looking for a 3. A 1.
1.
Unfortunately, Magdalene will also be hit by the spider breath. That is a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, hell yeah.
19, that's half damage. 15 is the DC, so half damage. So this is the piercing damage. 37 piercing, halved. And then this is the poison damage, which is halved, and then halved again for Magdalene because resistance.
Dwarf.
Yeah. Oh, wrong button.
Oh,
And
healthy chunk of damage.
the spider
Even,
dragon.
even with getting halved.
Yeah. And the spider dragon has been felled.
Outstanding.
Sorry, real quick. So, did Jared actually get the how do you want to do this?
Yes.
Not Ember?
Well, we'll say it could be a combo one.
Yeah.
You
I
don't have to be
am.
because it's my birthday. It's fine.
um. I'm imagining. I don't know if anyone has played Chrono Trigger or not. But essentially, you can do team-up attacks in that game with party members, and I'm just imagining, essentially a cross-slash where each of them make an, like, X, with one half of an X, just slashing diagonally,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Here's the thing, though. Ember has not been on his game once this fight, and why would he start now? So it can just be all Jared.
Nah. We both got the opportunity to attack, and both did enough damage to hit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, like, the thing is Jared's would have procced first, so...
Alternative way to describe it, Jared gives the attack, it death throws breath weapons, and then Ember attacks it to finish it off, and that's why Dion and Jared save the dex save.
There you go.
Okay, again, you don't have to take some... You don't have to pity me on this.
Anyway.
It's not pity!
What if we want to?
Anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we're not doing that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's dead. Guard over here. Lower the gate! And the gate starts lowering.
Edie comes over and pokes it a bit, make sure it doesn't get back up.
If it were going to get back up, you'd better be far and not poke it.
Yeah, just kind of
Oh, yeah.
pulling at the webs that are still wrapped, or Magdalene is pulling at the webs that are still wrapped around and going, can we get a little help over here?
Yeah.
Eenie,
Just
as
gonna-
you
Ember's
poke...
gonna go over and
Yeah.
pack the webs. How are Jared and Magdalene looking?
Jared, used lay on hands on himself, and he's looking still hurt, but better than before. Much better than before.
I'm at 26 out of 67. I could cure wounds myself, but
Ember is gonna make his potion of superior healing and give it to Magdalene.
Nice.
So that's 8d4 plus 8 healing.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Nice. 30
Very
points.
nice.
Eenie, as you poke it,
Yeah.
it twitches a little bit.
As that happens, Edie will just blast it with the sorcerer's burst.
It is dead. It was just twitching and death.
I know. I just imagined her just doing that just to be on the safe side, like right at its head.
Just blast.
Double tap it.
Always double tap. Always double tap.
Okay, I think it's dead now. And then she'll just come over, and then whatever's left of the head, she's just gonna start plucking teeth.
Thank you for your help, adventurers. You couldn't have come at a better time.
Just happened to be passing through. Quite literally.
Quite fortunate that we came across this situation.
I would say fate works in mysterious ways.
Mm.
What is your business here, if I might ask?
Jared will gesture to the entrance to the city and say, if actually wait, reminded me, please. The night that when we delivered the prisoners, that basically said, "Hey, I'm a knight of the Rusted Fang, and I'll put in a good word with you." Essentially, did I ever get his name? I cannot remember
I do
it.
not believe he did give you his name.
Okay, then how would he? Was there any kind of identifier for like rank other than just a knight that was sent to deal with this issue?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's a very spur of the moment decision to introduce him, and so I didn't think of anything at the time. I would say he would have had like very well decorated armor.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of how Jared would say this. I think he would gesture for now, at the very least. He doesn't want to give too much away all at once. He will gesture to the city and say, "Hopefully, we will find a place to rest and some supplies and resources to continue our journey, further our goals."
Very well. If you're looking for a place to rest, I would look for the. Sorry, brain farted. I would look for the Iron Nest.
I see. Thank you for the recommendation.
The proprietor of the inn is somewhat hard to get used to at first, but don't let that fool you. He runs a very good place.
I will be sure to keep that in mind. He says more as a question, not quite sure what to expect now.
My name is Fiona, and she extends a hand.
Jared will extend his own to complete the gesture. Jared, pleasure.
And the rest of you?
So I'm Dion, so and you know, of the Disciples of the Lock Keepers, and she kind of like tugs her like shawl of office. Are there any in the city at the moment who I might touch base with?
There haven't been for a while, but the lawkeepers are always welcomely, always. What's the word for it? Always given a warm welcome in this city, and she gives a slight bow.
I bow back.
Edie's still picking up teeth. She'll just kind of raise a hand. Name's Edie.
Hmm?
There we go. Think I got enough.
Some spiders crawl out of the mouth.
He just starts stomping it.
At this point, Magdalene uses her spellbook to cast Dragon's Breath on herself and incinerate the corpse.
Outstanding. Kill it with fire. Which is a very fun game on Steam.
Fiona has started drawing her sword, and then puts it back after you do that. Thank you very much for that.
That is quite the cursed creature.
Indeed, we've been finding others of its like somewhat recently. Strange creatures, somewhat in the form of the dragons, but twisted. I would say Dione and Ember could make religion checks. Just to see if you know. 14. One moment. Sorry, chat. We have some technical issues.
Technological difficulties.
Go into the screen. Be right back.
Oh,
Ember got a nat 1, apparently. Okay.
Fortunately, that doesn't come to mind for either of you. Very well. If you all would... Brain. Sorry. A lot of things interrupted things. Very well. You all may enter the city. Thank you again very much for your help.
Of course.
Thank you, Ken.
Well, let us be off. And we'll, as the gate is lowered, head on in.
Alright. As you enter, I do not have city map prepared, so we go to the world map.
All good, all good.
Because I do not have the funds for Incarnate subscription.
Fair.
Sorry, need to find it in my notes to give the description. The city of Sarosan. It is surrounded by very thick walls. As was described as you approach the city, it is a large part of it is built upon a very big hill. Right now, you stand in a district bustling with activity and shops and people selling and promoting their wares. At the edges of this, down the roads, you can see another wall which rings the hill. On the hill, you can see quite a few buildings. Right now, as you look through the main road, you can see that the gate on the inner wall is open. And that is, at current, your introduction to Sarosan.
Well, first order of business, find lodges for a handful of nights, just to be certain. Try to get as much as we can in as little time as need be, but who knows? Nothing is as simple as we hope it to be. The Iron Nest, I believe, was what was recommended to us, yes? Well, let's find it.
Along the way, as you stroll through the city, anyone who is able to cast spells. Oh, hey, it's all of you. Well, technically not all of you, but Ember, I would say, would also pick this up. Every now and then you get this weird feeling. Very similar to when you've run out of spell slots. And it briefly passes. You also, as you keep passing through the city, every now and then you will see small groups, it looks like groups of soldiers, gathered together, talking. They don't seem aggressive. They just seem, they're just hanging out together. And every now and then, some of them will like look suspiciously at someone. Jared, could I get a persuasion check from you?
Oh joy! Straight persuasion.
Yes.
Right. Persuasion. Where is that on this list? Well, it's.
Can I assist him by waving my shawl around to be like, he's with me?
I would say not for this, because this isn't like a strictly. This is me using persuasion to replicate something.
Okay.
All right. Persuasion. Natural frickin' 20. Let's go.
Yeah.
25 total.
One of them starts to like glare at you a little bit, and then their buddy like elbows them, and you can't overhear it, but it definitely looks like a conversation of like, dude, seriously?
Okay. Can I try to insight that at all? Try to figure out like what the squint and glare and just try to figure that out?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what caused that? Insight, right there. And that one! Let's go! Okay. Yeah, I don't know, something weird's going on.
Guy must have had a problem with you.
Oh, the balance.
Yeah, and also to mention like, the Log Keepers do business here. Would Magdalene have heard like anything about this city from the other Log Keepers?
Yeah. I would say if you could roll a history check. 11. I don't think you've heard anything in particular, because it's like you wouldn't really talk with them about like some of like your talk was probably more along the lines of like chatting with coworkers and not necessarily about like, oh yeah, so what was this exact place that I have never been to like. What you do know is that Sarasan has stood for a very long time, and you would know that the large hill is actually artificial and has been built to house a large fortress that is the city's last line of defense, which is also where the Fang's lair is.
This is like the general like travel guide stuff.
Yeah.
As we're walking, Idiot just kind of gives a big yawn and kind of blinks a bit. Anyone else feeling a bit tired?
Surprisingly so.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay, may I ask kind of an odd question?
Yes.
So, okay. So, here's the thing with Ember's position, is that they are here to talk to someone about, something that has been very much concerning him. But the thing is, Ember, I believe, unless there's something about Magdalen's character sheet I don't know, has the worst charisma of the party and is therefore the worst at talking to people, so he is here and knows the job that needs to be done, but honestly, has no idea what to do with himself here or where he could be helpful, so I don't know if I should make some sort of luck check for him to, I don't know, just find something.
Yeah, I would
I know first order of business is rest, but it's just,
yeah,
he's here and they're there to do something he is specifically bad at.
I
Yeah.
would say this could be a luck.
Infamously so.
I'd say this could be a luck check, or it could be investigation or insight. If you want to choose one of those.
Okay. Well, investigation is my best one of those options, so
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
Let's see if I get another nat 1 and I get nothing. Dirty 19.
3019.
Nice.
You get a few pieces of information. The first is that you notice that, all the groups of soldiers, first inspection, you can already tell they look somewhat different to the guards of the city. There's slightly different insignias and such. As you investigate further, you notice that, the guards and some of the soldiers associated with the city all have a symbol of a, fang coated in rust. The guards who are, the groups of soldiers who are all hanging out periodically all have a symbol of a shield. And so it's even if they have a shield, they will have a symbol of the shield within the shield. You will also pick up that eventually after enough times, when some of those soldiers will, glare at someone, if they keep the glare, if no one is hey, stop it, you'll notice a pattern there where those individuals will have, you notice a few times, some of them have a symbol of a magical insignia you'd remember from your school days that is related to dispel and counter magic.
Okay.
And I think on the 19, what you pick up on is you notice someone, you've seen those robes before. Oh no. Someone, you think you see someone you've seen twice before.
Oh, that's fun.
How about just for fun, I'm just gonna do a little 60-foot radius magic awareness just to, I don't know, just get some vibes.
Just for the kicks.
So do I actually see the specific person with all the shards in their face?
You think it's them at first. You do the magic awareness. You get a few pings of abjuration magic from, different sources. A wave of abjuration magic passes over you at one of those points where it feels like all your magical power drained. The person in the robes, you get a conjuration sense from them.
And is there any, like, illusion magic that's, I don't know, making them look like they don't have a bunch of shards in their face?
No illusion magic that you can sense.
Okay.
Magdalene has a passive insight of 18. Would she be noticing Ember looking nervous?
Yes, and I think the rest of them would too, because, yeah, fuck it, let's roll a deception check. Yeah, 7. He's not keeping it together.
Bucket, we fall.
A 4. Edie doesn't notice.
Of course Edie doesn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'll do an active roll. There we go. Relatively low.
Jared's high enough. Jared's seen enough of Ember's PTSD, you know that that's what's going on. And I think he's just kind of like, once he realizes that Jared is picking up on him, is just gonna point out that one. I don't know, that's...
What do you want to do?
Oh yeah, did that guy see me?
No, not yet.
Okay. He doesn't see me, but he hasn't seen her. Knows what I look like, but he doesn't know what you or Eni look like. I think he's gonna tap Eni on the shoulder and just be like, "Okay, can we cuddle in?"
Okay.
And he'll just point out the guy. Okay, so aside from the obvious discrepancy, that looks a lot like a person I've seen before. Not exactly good at talking to people, but would either of you be up for some, I don't know, just figure something out? Ask him what he's doing here. And I think, like, Ember has kind of left Magdalene out of this conversation intentionally, and she definitely picks up on that.
Okay. So, just to be clear, you want me to figure out why he's here?
That and his name, where he's from, just any information you can get, really.
Okay.
And he's
Can I
just
have something?
kind of starting to hyperventilate, so...
And Edie will give a thumbs up and then wander over to the person that Ember signaled towards.
Yeah, and
Oh, before I
if
go...
Jared wants to go with her to provide backup,
I feel...
he will. He was asking both of the charisma people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, before Edie goes, it's like, by the way, what's our inn called again?
The Iron Nest is where we'll be heading.
Thank you. Alright. Then she'll keep going. And she'll quickly go over to this person.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I'm thinking, so also wondering if Magdalene could, like, offer Ember her scarf again to hide his face with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take it and like find a place to sit down and just kind of like ball it up next to his chest and just try to take some deep breaths.
Hmm. And as I feel like I know the direction that Eni's gonna go with this, so Jared's just gonna follow along at first, just to be sure before saying anything and do something contrary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Edie will hurry over to this man.
Excuse me. Can I get some assistance, please?
He will turn
Don't
to you,
need-
and you see an elven face, but no shards stuck in it. Instead, you see a few strands of curly red hair from under the hood. Of course, with the rest of his face. Yes.
Me and my friend here are a bit lost. We're looking for the inn we're staying at. The Iron Nest. Do you know where that's at?
Not lost. We are.
Josh.
Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with the place myself, and I'm looking for
Oh, are
my own
you
lodgings.
not from here?
No, I'm from Teakta originally.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, we're actually not from this part of the world, so we're still
I
in the
could
place.
tell. And he gestures to like around the ear area.
Pretty obvious, huh?
Yes.
Name's Sona. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. I am Logair.
Can I get a spell check on that, please, DM?
Yep.
And thank you for providing the accent mark. I would not be able to do that on my own keyboard normally.
Yeah, me and my friend here are, guess you could consider bounty hunters or mercenaries. We're just kind of going around looking for work.
Hmm. Are you here to meet with either the Guardian or the Siphon?
We were debating on heading over there, just to see if they have anything to provide for us.
Well, both of them are here in the city at the moment.
Excellent. Once we get
back to our inn, Edie will kind of look back over at Jared.
I know exactly where we're going. I thought I knew.
Don't.
I don't need to ask for directions.
We've been wandering for hours.
It hasn't been hours. He looks over at a nearby shadow. Oh, it has been hours.
I need
Edie
to.
shakes her head.
I need to look up stat block real quick. Okay.
One plus one.
He fully believes you two are a couple.
Hell yeah. Understandable.
Just such a silly insight check, but how the characters are acting, I'm like, he would definitely think that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a fair conclusion to draw.
I will leave you two to your business. I hope you're able to find it.
Of course.
Eventually, one time or another. Farewell.
Yeah. Yeah, Edie will give a wave and then begin. She'll kind of wander about for a bit before making her way back over to the group. Just making sure that if he keeps an eye on her, that she doesn't return exactly back towards the other two.
Yeah.
All right. Got both.
And she'll provide Ember with both his name and where he's from.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't quite get a reason for why he came here, but
Yeah, unfortunately, he kind of left before we got a chance for that. But 2 out of 3, not bad.
Could I get an intelligence saving throw for Ember?
oh,
And what's your modifier?
My modifier is +4,
Okay.
so it's not terrible. I have lower ones. Ten.
10?
10 total, or?
Yep.
Huh,
Okay.
why does
Total.
why does that name sound familiar? Huh. You can't quite
oh,
place
that's
it.
right. Mm.
Here's the thing. You said saving throw and not check. That's why I'm concerned.
It was saving throw because seeing if it triggered memories of being Tashin.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
I
see,
rolled
I
like shit.
see.
So.
Well, yeah.
All right. Grumble, 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 as Zelda would say.
I do say that a lot, don't I?
I mean, hey, it's a good thing. It's a good way to process like bad dice rolls. So. Sorry, you said intelligence save, and I was worried I was getting feeble-minded or something. I was really paranoid.
Yeah, and also I think as we're walking, Magdalene will attempt to cast Identify on whatever effect is like causing that weird out of spell slots feeling, and it's like, first, does casting it as a ritual even work, or does that effect like interrupt it partway through?
Do it. Give me an Arcana check. Just to see if the ritual goes off fine. Ooh, 17. Sorry, I just put a cracker in my mouth. Thank you, ADHD. You cast Identify, and with your own arcane knowledge, you're able to piece together that this is a regional effect of a dragon, but of one who is... This is a weird interaction, because if this was the Dragon Lord's powers manifesting, you would be feeling that sense consistently. This is a periodic wave. So this is a dragon exerting magical power over the territory, but who is not the Dragon Lord.
Oh, makes sense.
Okay, that's concerning.
And then
This-
what is the effect designed to do?
The effect is just a... 17. The effect weakens your magic, and you can feel it being pulled somewhere else.
One. The name Siphon was mentioned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, perpetual siphon. Oh yeah, and, also, in character, but also out of character question because I don't remember, does Jared have any spells cast in the spell storing ring?
Currently, I do. I've just never had an opportunity for them. I currently have, Death Ward and Guiding Bolt.
Damn it. Okay. 'Cause I was wondering if Magdalene could have cast Sending in the ring, and then we could have asked some NPCs that Ember knew if they recognized the name, but it seems like not an option. So, oh well.
Not
Well, let me check if I
currently.
have sending prepped.
Well, it doesn't matter because Magdalene doesn't know any of those NPCs, so.
Ah.
Because I was thinking of asking the librarian that Ember had went to school with. Way back the first time we went to Teocta, but because I'm not sure his parents would necessarily know. So or even like his sister, so so yeah. Anyway, never mind. I'll stop talking.
No. It's all good. It's a good question. I'm just nodding along as you speak.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I'm guessing you all proceed to the inn.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
As you enter, it's pretty open, not open, pretty empty currently. Not too many people downstairs, and you just see a male Mander, up at the counter for the inn. Hello. Looking for
Well,
rooms.
Hello.
If there are any available.
How many would you like?
No, look to the others. Jared is perfectly fine with as many as the rest of the group wants, essentially. If it's one, fine. If it's two, cool. 3, 1 each. It's a little bit extravagant, but sure, I guess.
1 each, sir.
Yeah.
No.
I think Ember is gonna want to bunk with someone.
Yeah, Magdalene's up for that. I was gonna offer.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2.
I guess we can go with 2.
Space Buddy is under shady pair.
Yeah.
Stress
You say
buddies
that's
and
the
the shady pair.
definitely romantic couple, according to that one guy.
A disaster duo.
Okay, the innkeeper doesn't think that Jared and Edie are a couple.
Well, this is gonna be a thing now.
No, he does not. He does not. So you guys are fine.
I do think you should just periodically roll for this, just because it's funny.
Maybe.
I am 100% down for that.
Like
I'm
not
good with
every
it as
town
well.
we go to, but just occasionally.
Yeah, no.
Vibe check.
Whenever they do something, just have the NPC roll insight.
Yeah, no.
But if there's ever it's something that they do where it's wait, are they? I do an
Yeah,
insight
no,
check for
it's
the NPC.
It's always fun because there are it takes a really special kind of friendship or other kind of connection to be able to rib into each other as much as they do
Yeah.
and not hate each other by the end of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
2 rooms,
we'll get
then.
2 rooms. Yep.
Alright, that'll be about total 6 gold a night.
Alright.
Ember
Maybe-
puts. Is it 6 gold for both rooms or just for 1 each?
Just for 1 each.
Okay, Ember puts 12 gold on the table.
Are you
Alright.
sure? We
Two
can
nights.
split it.
Oh, I think there may have been
Or the
miscommunication.
favor from earlier.
Very well.
Alright.
Also,
It's
just
3 per room per night. Three per room per night. So 6. For
Okay.
both
Okay,
rooms.
gotcha.
Okay, so it's 6 for both of them.
okay. It's 6 for both, and if we want to get multiple nights, then it's multiples of 6.
Yeah.
So, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you very much. Still doing the 12th though.
No, I misunderstood the math.
Okay, so 6 then for the night.
Yeah, so we're doing it for tonight, and then if
If we need, we'll pay for more.
nights, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we want to pay for it today since, like, he asked Jared and E to do something for him, so.
Fair.
All right, enjoy your rooms. And he just goes behind the counter, steps down from the step stool he was on to get at counter height.
Mm-hmm. Again, I think. Okay, so. Question for Roxanne, because. You know Ember's backstory, because I told it to you, out of session, because we are sisters, and, Ember, given the meltdown he had today and the fact that, like, he wasn't, like, he didn't know how to include Magdalene in on what was going on, he is in the position where he feels like, okay, I do actually need to explain myself. So, how much RPing do you want to do of Ember explaining the backstory? Like, do you want to RP that, or do you want to just, like, yada yada over the explanations that's happened in session, and you've had the explanation out of session, and then just cut to her reaction? Or what are you up for?
I was like, maybe just do like a quick like bullet point version, just cause I could use a refresher, so it's like
Okay. Yeah, cause and the thing is, the other thing is, there's definitely stuff that Ember is going to skip over. Like, he's not gonna say like everything.
Here's a summary
So-
of my entire life.
But yeah, well, I meant I don't think he's gonna mention the whole. It's like he got pressured into dropping out of
shoot.
school, because that's just kind of sad. So, I think the parts he will mention is that he used to attend the magic school of Teacta, but it wound up not working out, and then one night when he was out very late and on his way home, he got attacked by someone, and they had this mysterious cube that in a desperate attempt to if not to survive, at least take down the other people who were there, decided to try breaking the cube, and then that wound up opening a gateway to the in-between, where he then had to just walk until he found an exit, which he eventually did, and that's how he got to know Autumn, because she found him afterwards, but
And, you know,
that's
we already heard that,
why
and
he-
Magdalene already heard that from, you know, Gossip Night with,
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, something about like Autumn saving his life, it's like, oh, that's what that was. Okay.
mhm.
And it will explain that like when he got back in touch with his family, he encountered that person again who looks a lot like again, except again, they had the shards in the face, which this individual does not. So, I mean, Miranda's brain is immediately going to, oh, they have a twin, but whether or not that is the DM's intention is, we will find out.
I will
So,
clarify that the clothing was similar. Like, the clothing and build was similar, but Ember did not see, like, the face of the person.
okay, got it. Good to know. Okay, so, okay, but anyway, like, but yeah, so we'll explain, and we'll basically, it's just, basically the reason he's explaining me, it's like, oh yeah, I got stuck in the in-between for 100 years, is to just give context to the to why it is hard to function around maybe the person who was responsible or involved potentially. So and the last thing he's gonna say is, sorry if this is a lot, you have enough to deal with, and I didn't want to burden you with my problems. So, that's why I didn't want to say this, but it seems like it's kind of necessary at this point, so.
Yeah, because I was trying to identify, like, I don't know if you felt like the weird effect that's been pulsing through the city, but
I felt something. I wasn't sure if it was the city, if it was. I mean, you've seen that my abilities, I guess, aren't exactly the most consistent and reliable. So.
Well, I was doing some identification on it, and from what I can tell, it's what is it? It's siphoning off little bits of magic from very large area, and two, that it was cast by a dragon, but not the dragon lord of this area, whom I'm assuming is still the Rusted Fang. So
That is
very often.
more than a little concerning.
Yeah, so we have a dragon who's helping someone, possibly guy who's had shards removed from his face. I don't know. Like
They said they didn't
embezzled.
see anything or even any scarring, and
Anyone who wants could roll an intelligence check.
I will certainly try.
I would actually say besides DL. For 12, okay. Or Magdalene. I realize that Magdalene does not have a piece of information that the rest of the party has.
Okay.
Raw
Raw intelligence is a 17.
17. Because I had to step away, Are Edie and Jared there with Magdalene and Ember, or are they alone?
No, they're in their own room.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a 17, Ember, you would remember that Thraxena said that her grandfather and her grandfather's sister, is that great aunt? I think that's great aunt. Whatever. Are basically de facto rulers, and you have met the Siphon.
Yeah, way back at the end of session 4.
Yep. And the the person, if Amy and Jared pass it along, mentioned, are you here to see the Guardian or the Siphon, because they are both in town?
Yeah, Edie would have passed that information on as well.
Yeah. Eni right now is missing the information about magic being siphoned, so I won't. I'm putting all the pieces on the table right now. With the 21, if Eni hears the information, we'll be able to put it together.
Gotcha. That will be later.
Yeah.
All right. So, I think. Is there anything else Magdalene wants to say about Ember's insanely tragic backstory? Okay. Oh no. I'm not sure how to close out the scene.
Do we want to cut to Jared and Edie then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I did have one little thing Ember could do real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when he and Magdalene are done talking, he's gonna pull out the sending stone and get with the bottom and just say, I made it to the city. Gonna try and talk tomorrow. Can you ask Ainsling if she knows a Loghaire?
We'll do.
Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
What's the librarian's name? Sorry.
Need to go back in my notes.
The librarian. Or I'll just say. Maybe. Insert librarian's name. Insert Teocta librarian's name here. Knew them. So, that's the full message.
Yeah.
With one word left to spare. Actually, wait, no, I'm gonna count the so as part of the message, so that's the full 25.
Yeah. I was counting, so.
Hell yeah.
Kuan was the librarian's name.
Kuan. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, also I think if it wasn't pushing Ember too hard, Magdalene would have asked for any details of the ritual being attempted by Shardface, former Shardface, the person formerly known as Shardface.
The person currently known as Shardface because we know their actual name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The answer is he doesn't know everything. That whole event is very just fragmented and not cohesive in his mind. Like, it seemed like they were trying to catch him to do something, but whatever it was, they never, like, achieved it, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, women, like,
so
mostly,
he has absolutely no idea there. He just knows that they had the cube, and
Yeah,
doesn't
I think
know
it's...
what they were
yeah.
using for.
Yeah, she mostly would have been asking for, like, anything she could cross-reference with her own knowledge of, you know, rituals. Like, did they have, like, a circle of candles or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, did you see what was
They
on
had
the
a
cube at all?
Kate. So... And those are probably rare, so... So I don't know if I could narrow down who that... Like, who... What person or faction could have had one of those. Also, this happened 100 years ago, for whatever
Yeah.
that's worth.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll look into it. Hope everything goes okay. And then a little bit later, it will actually be Ainsling who gets on the line with the Sending Stone. Sorry, I have notes and stuff. You asked about Logair. If it's the same one, there was a conjurer in the same wording. A conjurer at the school the same time you were named that. Spirit elf. Second generation like us. And to clarify, translating into D&D, Spirit Elf being Eladrin.
Right. Okay. I feel like okay. We will cut over to Jared and Nini. I'm sorry this is taking so long, but
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, you
What
had
should I
questions and you had a
roll?
mean to potentially get an answer.
what should I roll to see how late Ember stays up trying to make a conspiracy board, and what can I roll to make the conspiracy board?
I would say Constitution saving throw to see how long he stays up. And
I mean I have a +7 to those, so those shouldn't be too bad.
yeah.
That was a nat 1.
You have
I think he tries to put it together and then just falls and then just like crashes in a pile of papers, and that's where Magdalene finds him the next morning.
Yeah. I you don't even get the
And she realizes, oh, this is why you need Autumn. Okay. This is why she's there.
all the spider venom caught up to you.
Yeah.
Your body's like, no, we are resting. So yeah, Jared and Nini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Edie would just be essentially as soon as they get in the room, just lay down and just start resting her eyes and start drifting off.
Already.
Look, I'm tired. What's up with this place? But I feel exhausted.
I am quite tired too. The whatever is happening with the siphon is.
Is that what it is?
I'm imagining so. Because with a name such as the siphon, and we are both feeling effects of being drained. But in any case, I imagine it's hitting you less than me because of magical differences.
Huh?
Eni.
Our
You
sources
say
of
they
magic.
don't want my magic?
I'm
A
saying
little
that.
rude.
In fact, I'd say quite the opposite. Yours more than mine.
Oh,
What?
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense then.
Eni, I would say at this point, your intelligence check. Wait. Is the siphon Thraxena's great aunt?
That. Okay. I think I might just put 2 and 2 together.
And which
She
sum
will-
of 4 did you make?
And she'll relay that.
Oh. That's
That,
interesting. Okay.
that would make sense.
Alright then. He grows silent for a moment to think over how this could potentially help or harm. Hopefully help, because have met and have proved ourselves quite capable in the past, so hopefully that's more of an incentive to back us to say, hey, you know our good work. But he shakes his head to put the thought aside for the night. The teeth that you took from the spider, arachnid, dragon thing, whatever that was.
Yeah.
What are you planning to make from it?
I mean, she'll kind of hold up her necklace. Add on this. If I feel creative, maybe I'll think of something else. Ooh, what do you think about like a few rings with them on it? And then you'll punch someone with them.
That would be quite the insidious form of knuckles. I like it. If you can make them structurally sound enough, I think it could work.
I'll think on it.
And
I'm sure you could get a lot more use out of it than me, though. Not really a strength person. She'll kind of point to her very thin arms.
give it enough time, enough training, the right regimen. You could definitely.
You mean I have to put in work? She just kind of just turns over on the bed. Sounds like too much work.
He actually out and in character, there's actually a good amount of laughter, and he's been getting out of his armor to more properly rest as they've been talking, and by the by the time Jared regains composure, he just smiles and says, well, I'd say that most of the time, good things come from putting in effort to something. Just look at the effort you all put into me.
Fair enough.
How's the carving Jared's been doing coming along?
He's been working on it in his spare time, but I feel like now that they have an actual room rather than a camp on the road, he's going to be more dedicated to it this night and try to work on it. And he was actually I was actually just about to mention that he was going to start working on it again before you brought it up. And Eni would also see that he is working on something. He's not trying to be secretive about it or anything.
Seems like it's coming along pretty nice.
Could be better. Again, will come with time and practice and effort.
At the same time, though, it's good to just enjoy the moment that you're in right now.
Yeah. And there's probably like a 5 at least 5, maybe even 10 seconds of silence before he just very suddenly says, I appreciate you, Eni.
Edie would raise an eyelid up. And she gives a smile.
Thanks. Appreciate you being with us as well.
There's a smile. Thank you. I hope that doesn't change.
Let's see. But now let's enjoy it.
Enjoy the moment until start back up on carving his a miniature of himself, essentially.
Sounds good. Just to check.
So, how do I roll an insight check for myself to see if I can date Jared and he...
You're not here.
I couldn't resist. I saw the opportunity. I had to do it.
That was a great joke.
That's fine.
Excellent timing.
Mhm.
Just to check for what I'm thinking of doing next. Has Magdalene sent a status report to her higher ups at all yet?
Um. It takes. I do just have sending in some spell slots, so. I kind of want to like do some shopping tomorrow. I think kind of just send like a basic one in tonight. Just thing. Hey, I'm in the city. Something's weird.
Okay. Thank you for the report. Would you like dream communication?
I could also do it tomorrow after I've gathered a bit more information.
Very well, we will be in touch tomorrow night.
Right. Thank you. Sounds good.
So then, I'd like, yeah. So between Magdalene, Ember, and Jared, because Edie doesn't dream, can I get everyone to roll d20s just to see how the narrative initiative, we'll call it.
Four.
So, wait, how would you
Four.
portmanteau those two words? Narrative initiative. Initiative? I don't know. 14!
Yeah. So, Roxanne, does my 4 beat your 4 because it's my birthday?
Okay, so do we have the
That's how it
same
works,
dream?
right?
Well, what if, like, since we rolled the same, do we have the same dream?
You know what? I will allow it for a specific reason.
But are we getting Ember's dream or Magdalene's dream?
Yes! You're getting yes.
Jared, is
Yes.
there a story either from his home or Jared has maybe overheard in his time in the territories that has inspired him to be a better person?
I feel like... I feel like there could be one such story as a metaphorical face to face with your own personal devils, and growing and improving and not only facing your fears but facing the worst parts of you and growing from acknowledging and accepting them and growing alongside them. And Jared taking that as not only the metaphorical way of facing your personal demons, but also the more a more literal interpretation of facing any external demons that may be in your life, and one way or another facing them, learning to grow, acknowledging them, and being better from that.
Is that a story Jared has heard from the kingdoms or here in the territories?
I would say I think it feels, I don't know why, but to me, a story of growth and rapid change feels more like it would be a Kingdoms thing to me. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah, I think, Jared, you find yourself in this story as taking on the role of the hero. It's a story traditionally from Sylvania, and there's a the son of a noble family wasn't strong enough, so he got kicked out, disinherited, and spent a lot of his life struggling, being cutthroat, and doing what he could to get back that status. Until one day he found a companion. And the story, by the telling, sometimes it's a romantic relationship, sometimes it's platonic. In this dream, you find that that person is, being cast in that role is Janaka. And however Jared feels about her, that's where it goes, whether it be platonic or romantic. I will not determine that. And that person got this noble, this warrior, to settle down, stop the endless conquest. And when they did, it was revealed that a fiend was, after a few years, a fiend was leeching the energy from the soldier. And this creature then started to rampage across the countryside. Many knights, many soldiers fell to it. And eventually the old warrior took up arms. Well, not old. Eventually the warrior took up arms again to try and fight it. And he found himself unable to. It grew stronger with every blow he gave, until he decided to set down his arms. And then the beast could not touch him. And he was able then to defeat it barehanded through determination. But he did not kill the creature. Instead, he banished it. And Jared, you find yourself experiencing the dream as that hero. And after defeating the creature, his family came forward, congratulating him, offering his place back, and he said no, and returned to his companion. Ember.
Yes.
We've talked before about stories Ember liked as a child. I think Ember's dream is you find yourself much as you were when Autumn found you, although this time at the streets of a city. Walking by you is a older elf. You could likely tell a wizard from the staff. He's holding his head and then passes by. Eventually, as you are passing, you will come across who you recognize as Autumn, but through the story of the dream is obviously been cast in a different role, as very similarly, you to your own life, you are going through, the process of rediscovering yourself. Every now and then you see that old wizard in a more deteriorated state. His clothes get more tattered from lack of care, and it's obvious he's not taking much care of himself. Maybe sometimes you see him cast a prestidigitation or some other spell to try and replace a bath or mending his clothes, but never seems to work. Meanwhile, you begin to put the work in to do the things that you have done in your own life. Eventually, you find yourself very different to how you were at the start of the dream. This may be the first time since you came back to the material world that you have felt like Tasha. And at this point, you come to the old wizard, now malnourished, can barely stand. Anything he says is incoherent. And I think there is a part of you that recognizes this wizard as the man who knows nothing. A story of a wizard who grew so powerful that he solved all of his problems with magic. Embarrassing memory, erase it. Messed up a conversation, rewind time to do it again. And so, he knew everything, but learned nothing. And you find yourself in the exact opposite place of that man. Magdalene,
Yes?
you have been looking over this, experiencing it like from shifting perspective, different people on the street. And eventually, as Ember has this final appearance, you are looking on as well. And you feel someone standing beside you.
And it is.
My apologies, I didn't mean to wrap you up in this as well. As you look and you see an elven form, very stereotypical witch, the robes, the hat, staff, and you recognize this as a mortal form that the Recorder likes to take. I thought they could use some signs that they're on the right track. Hello.
I kind of like nod very deeply.
Oh, none of that. At least not here. If you have anything to ask, you can, and I will answer it within reason.
Am I on the right path as well?
Yes, you are.
It's like, do I try to cheat at the puzzle? Do I use the hint system?
I was gonna give you your own dream, but then you rolled the same number, and I'm like, no, this is an awesome idea.
Yeah, because I guess it's like one thing I would have. Let's say. Yeah, because I guess just with the cubic gate, that Ember described, I'm trying to figure out how much like of a vague idea that would give Magdalene with her own arcane knowledge of like what sort of like illicit summoning or whatever was being attempted.
Is that what you ask?
Well, I'm trying to figure out it's like what would I have been able to figure out before that?
Yeah. Yeah, figuring out.
Arcana check?
Yeah. I would say, in this case, just straight intelligence. 18. Yeah. You know, demon summoning would likely be a lot more subtle, because fiends are bad news, and it's like unleashing a fiend just out onto the streets, that would probably be bad news. Celestial summoning would be a lot more open, because Celestials are usually benevolent. So, I would say the 18 is pretty good. Rules those out, but there's not enough data to refine it down any more than that.
Yeah, and I guess like I'm trying to determine like whether or not I even should ask, because it's like, is it something the gods would be concerned with if it was like being attempted again?
I guess that's the question, is like, do you find Ember's backstory concerning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe for like the cheat, I'll just guess it's like, okay, so we have this guy running around. So, what specifically was being attempted that day, and is he still trying to do it?
Unfortunately, I shouldn't give you all the answers. The head honcho doesn't want me spoiling your fun. You already know a summoning was being performed. And yes, they are still trying.
Alright.
And I don't mean a singular they.
Well, it definitely gives us a place to start in terms of we need to find these people and stop them, and hopefully that will help get us some additional favor with the Rusted Fang. So, fingers crossed. Thank you for what small tidbits you were able to give.
Of course. And if you ever wish to contact me, you're familiar with how.
Mm-hmm.
And she will slip away. Eenie.
Hmm?
You don't dream.
Yep.
But I think you find yourself at the tower. But this time, not in the walls, but in a room of black crystal. You can see into it, but not out. What do you do in this space? No windows or doors of any kind.
Just the crystals?
Yep. The same color as the ones in the lab.
Well, that's a good question.
That's a good question, Mega Man.
Yeah, I would say, if you don't mind me adding on, I would say over time, Edie's probably attempted to damage and break this crystal, so there's probably a lot of scratches and tears around, but outside of just like appearance damage, there's like essentially nothing.
Yeah.
Like no serious damage. So at this point, just kind of remembering back or whenever there wasn't really a host for her, Eni would probably be just kind of sitting and just kind of staring out the crystals, just not really doing much, maybe just at certain points just kind of focusing to see if she can even just see her reflection.
Give me a perception check.
Gotcha. See if there's any changes at all. A 4.
4? Nothing you can
Yep.
notice.
She'll just let out a sigh and just kind of continue just to stare out at the whatever sceneries around her that she's seen hundreds of times.
Quite the predicament, you hear. And whirring to where the sound came from, you see, projected through the crystal, a deep red draconic face.
Does Edie recognize this face at all?
Give me a religion check.
Sure. A 7. That's another goddamn 4 on the dice.
You are getting rather close to some answers.
Definitely made progress, but for the most part, still here.
Oh, I don't mean metaphorically close. I mean physically.
She'll raise an eyebrow at that.
Oh. Huh.
Quite a few in the next
Alright.
room over, if any of you can learn to read ancient Untechnian. But some more here in the city.
Yeah, I doubt that anyone knows that. But my hunch is right then. Yeah, I can clear some things up. Rattling around in here.
Besides the projection of the draconic head, you see the one memory you saw, but this time a different perspective. The dragon's perspective as he flew through the air, attacking this form of shadow as it blasted him in the face. You're thinking of the wrong time, and that is because you're not... Oh, how to phrase this? You... That, as the memory shows the shadowy form, is more than you realize. Translate the notes. And then the face and the memory disappear. How long does Ini perceive the time in this gem room as?
First, I would say it's a lot like when you're a kid, and it just feels like just minutes are almost like hours. But at the same time, she has kind of grown numb to it, so just that impatience that she probably had at the start of it has dissipated over time, and now she's just kind of sitting and just seeing whatever she could do to pass the time.
As time passes, it's not just boredom that makes it seem like hours. Genuinely, your sense of time. Are you going to not wake up in the body? This has been so long. The scratch and scuff marks you've made on the wall have begun to disappear. And just as the terror sets in, you wake up.
I would say, cutting back to the actual world, if Jared is up at the time, you'd see almost air just fill in Ini's lungs as she takes a deep breath and just comes to a start and just starts patting at herself.
Just immediately going over. Hand on shoulder. Are you alright?
Yeah. Sorry. That took a while. I thought she gave up. Gave up the ghost. Oh, thank goodness.
What? What happened?
Nothing.
She'll just kind of collapse back in bed.
So, hello, right there. That's all. Just thought came to mind, and glad it wasn't true.
Jared will squint, scowl a little before taking a breath himself and actually sitting down beside her and say, "It's clearly not nothing if it has you this upset."
Alright. I guess I can't really hide it, as this stuff usually doesn't happen. I guess another memory?
She says, kind of squinting. It's like, kind of.
It's not really a dream, but
Memory / back in the hat for a bit. Sometimes happens. Most of the time when I don't have a host, and it took a little bit longer to connect back to Sona's body, so I was a bit worried that she might have checked the buckets. But I'm here, so that's good. That's good. But I did get more memory. Ran in thanks to the help of some red dragon. Can't keep all these dragons straight in my head. Don't know.
A red dragon.
Yeah. He mentioned something about being close to answers and physically close to answers. Like-
She mentioned something.
Oh, she. Sorry, I heard he. My bad. I might have misheard. Anyways, she mentioned that. She specifically said, close as... She'll pause and then look over to the wall, a wall to the next room over, to Ember's and Mag's room. I wonder if maybe she. Anyways, I'll
There's a chance.
look at. There's a good chance. She said something about knowing some sort of language, something about notes, but also kind of revisit that memory I mentioned in the while back. She mentioned that I might be a little off on the time, which is odd. So either that means it's closer or even further back. I'm a little lost on that one. Edie scratches her head, but maybe I'll double check with Mag. Sounds like she might have a clue to all this. Or the Rusted
Alright.
Fang, since he is the oldest. We'll see.
We certainly shall. But genuinely, you are fine now? Yes?
Eni takes a sigh and just kind of looks up to the ceiling. I won't lie, it's been a while that I've actually was very worried that all our hard work on trying to do this might have been too late. She'll kind of clutch tight to. She is kind of messing around with her long sleeves and kind of just pulling on them tight. Would be a shame to do all this work, and the kid passes on. Am I taking care of her body all right?
From what I've been able to notice, I believe so. And I wouldn't let it get to that point. For her sake and yours. And if it ever does, then I'll find a new host as quickly as possible, so hopefully as little of your current self is lost as possible. No memories lost.
It's appreciated. I just do hope that you don't lose her.
I do too.
Thanks for your worry.
Of course.
I think that's a good place to call the session.
Hell yeah.
Hope everyone enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This was great. Thank you for running.
Glad you liked it.
Thank you.
Thanks for being
Mhm.
players. Thank you for everyone who showed up and watched.
Bye, chat.
Bye.
Bye.
Boy.